Hey Warriors, something amazing happened this weekend. Me and Rafiki got together and we talked so much about Aurory. I asked him so many questions and to be honest, I can't put everything all into a video or an intro. So what I thought was, I should just give you the complete unedited version of our conversation because you guys don't want to miss a single bit. As Rafiki did something I really wasn't expecting. He dropped a bunch of alpha on Aurory that you guys need to know. But let me stop teasing you about the interview and let's finally get into it. But before we do, go like the video if you're enjoying Aurory right now and go comment below which is your favourite monster. I'm not sure if you guys heard the rumour on the Aurory streets from my last video. But basically, if you're not a subscriber, you can't seem to hatch any 5-star monsters. And if you want that to stop and, get a 5-star monster, go subscribe now. Enough of me talking, cue the intro. So how should we start this?
What?
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, sorry guys. I was just setting some the headphones and microphone, so you can all hear me properly. Okay, my name is Rafiki. Nice to meet everybody, and I work for Aurory as a content creator. So in the last 2 years, I became a Aurory maxi and very passionate about the project as a game and as a product and what it could bring for me in terms of potential for the gaming industry. And I just jumped in as a fan for an entire year, creating content on my time off until eventually collaborating directly with the team to both create content for them and for my own channel.
That sounds pretty cool. That's the thing, with this game, it's like you'll find an aspect of it that you really like because obviously we came into it when Seekers came out. So like there's this, and I realized when I talked to the number one player, I forgot his name's slipping my mind right now for a second.
Gravity.
But Gravity. When I was speaking to him, he was like, I've been playing this for years. I was like, wait, what? Like, how did this go under the radar for me? And he was like, obviously, it's just the tactics game mode was out. And the thing is, I only play tactics now because it's very similar to like a game I used to play before called Dofus, which is like a grid-based.
Dude, I'm a Wakfu fan.
Yeah, bro. The thing is, I played Dofus, and when the Wakfu came out, it was just like, so you didn't make an anime or anything on Dofus. You just changed the name of the product, and just came out with something else. Like what? Like I'm an IOP. Why is it suddenly changed? Like what is this? And then in my mind it's like, oh, it must be equivalent to when old school RuneScape was out, and then they brought out the new RuneScape when it's all 3D, and no one liked it. Like,
oh, really?
But the thing is, maybe a lot of people liked Wakfu, but because me and my friend were so hard on Dofus, like guilds and stuff like that, like. But yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, I definitely feel like any person that definitely played that game, if they see tactics, they're like, oh wow, I can just play the fun part without finding people in a party, looking for mobs at the right level and doing all that shebang. I just have the aspect that I like, which was the battle system. Like,
yeah. Well, the thing is, like you say, like for me, it was the same. If you look the first video I ever made on Aurory, I referenced it as Wakfu Dofus meets Pokemon meets chess on steroid. Like that was my feeling, and I totally agree with you that this kind of turn-based tactical games I was really passionate about, and tactics was a lot of fun. But eventually, we as you can see now, we move to Seekers of Tocane, which was also the bigger vision, which always was this kind of adventure game, which also reminds me in Dofus and the art style and all these things. So yeah, it definitely hit a nostalgic core, and very passionate.
Like honestly, I've been in like Web3 for like 2 years now, and my friend group is very like core gamers, like Halo 3 originals, Call of Duty 4. Like we used to play it all, and They never liked Web3 games. Hi, Queen Star. They never liked Web3 games because they were like, they're always playing like a downgraded version of the games that they could already play. And if there weren't like the monetary value towards the games, you wouldn't be playing them. But then I showed them a Rory, and then my friend was like, he did like, wait 1 minute. And he was like, there's two different aspects to the game. And then like an hour later, he was like, I degened in. I bought 5 NFTs. And he was like, what NFT did you buy? Like, oh, 3 stars. I was thinking, so you hated Web3 for ages, and I suddenly see this one project, and you're just like, wow, DJing straight into it. And then
Yeah.
my other friend was getting FOMO because he was getting on a plane to Thailand at the time. And we was talking about the game, and like my other friend that's learning about it, do you get what I mean? And you know how friend groups are, you all want to kind of play the same game together, so you all discover
Yeah.
it together, do you get what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like, and when it comes to like the Orbin, how are you doing shift trot? Shift, I'm gonna call you shift, because it's gonna be like easier for me. But yeah, like I feel word of mouth for this game is really good because a lot of my community, whenever I've shown it to them, they're like, how can I get access? How do I get a code? It's like, oh, you're lucky. For once, your boy's got codes for once for the game. So
Yeah.
like, I just like onboarding so many people from my community, and then there's another kind of like Pokemon like game that I play called NFT Champions, like Celestial Ultimate,
Yeah.
and a lot of that community is like, oh, how do I get access? Like, they get. I feel the Seekers part sells to a lot of people, and then the tactics part is just a nice after chat, like the nice side part of the game to them. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
for some people, they'll like the tactics over the Seekers.
That's why I think you said or you went a bit under the radars because there was a full dedication for a year to developing tactics as a also a first experience for the team of Aurory to get to discover Web3 because the Aurory team is kind of like a premium team of classic gaming. A lot of people from Ubisoft, a lot of people that they're all friends. They've all worked. I've met them. I've traveled to Montreal to make vlogs about them and really discovered like how they all know each other and there's a huge trust. So for the first year, they kind of had to build their workflow, build the team while building a Web3 product, which is something which is brand new, right? And like
Yeah,
building a game with Web3 capacities. But it was hard to onboard new players to tactics to make it like it's a very niche game,
hundred
and I
percent.
personally like it pretty much. So they and also they realized because tactics originally was supposed to be the combat system for Seekers of the Cane. Also, it was supposed to be the same combat system, but what they realized through tactics that it was kind of complicated, and so they
100%.
rebuilt a whole new version of the Pokemon battle style, which I personally was a bit afraid of at first. I thought, oh, it's going to be like Pokemon, just one attack, one attack, one attack. But then that kind of like 3 actions per turn at once,
No,
um, yeah, worked really well.
no. Listen, see, the thing is, Web3 is a bunch of clones. Let's just be real out here. Like everything's a clone of something with like a little bit of like different seasoning. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Gods Unchained is basically like Hearthstone. Same with Skyweaver. They all kind of take an element from something, and it's like with Aurory and Seekers, it's not really copied and pasted from Pokemon at all. Because like you
Oh,
said, you got the free turn system. And I say this to everyone. The minute you get dodged on when you do your big attack, you're
yeah,
gonna realize there's so many more elements to the game. Because it's
yeah,
like, okay, if I can in Pokemon, it's all about predicting the switch out and if they're gonna switch and what moves the Pokemon has. Do you get what I mean? But in this
yeah.
game, it's not necessarily what moves they have. It's what move they're gonna use, when they're gonna use it, when they're gonna dodge, when they're gonna switch. It's like, are they gonna do the big damage move? Like, what the hell's
It's a
going
real
on?
mind game. I,
Like,
I really like it because it has that kind of like first you need to really know kind of all the NFTs by heart of it, so you can predict what your opponent will do.
yeah,
And there's a bit of luck because sometimes it's easy to predict what attack your opponent will do in those 3 actions, but you have to figure out at what moment he will do it. And I've kind of became addicted to blitz battles because I find them quick and punchy. And yeah, I've got to learn also there's like more intricate mechanics which I didn't realize at first, which are like you have the buffs and debuffs, right? There are different
Yeah.
levels of that you can stack them up, and I only
Unique
realized
is
that
one of them that does
recently.
that as well.
Yeah, but yeah, and so that's a bit the history, I guess, in short, of Ori, and now it's very clear for all the team that Seekers of Tokane is attracting the attention which I think Ori deserves as a company and a project, and the team is really like steam full on onto like bringing more content, primarily to Seekers of Tokane. I know you love tactics a lot, but it's something we're reminding everybody is that for now tactics is kind of on the back burner because our team, even if it's like 60 people is actually quite small to realistically produce multiple games at once. And I'm not bearish on the rest of Web3, but a lot of Web3 companies gaming are building like 5 games at the same time, and either they have a team of 400 people or or I don't know what they do, but you know, if you take
Yeah.
recently I was reading an article about Baldur's Gate 3, right? And seeing that a very well established studio took 7 years to build a game with 170 developers. So I was like, yeah, okay, I understand. Because at the beginning, I was a bit like, you know, the same in crypto, a bit impatient with, as a community member, I was like, oh, why not faster? Why not more products and stuff? And you start to realize this when you're in the backstage that everything takes a lot of time and there's a lot of details. And Ori also prides itself in building everything from scratch. There is absolute like that's for me is kind of the magic and why I love working for them as a creative person is that I get to interact with a lot of artists, 3D artists, musicians, VFX artists, and stuff, and we're trying to build a workflow to create content uh, quite quickly, so we can follow the pace of like Twitter, but also qualitative content. So with their support, I'm learning more and more to find
Yeah.
that balance.
Yeah. Like you said, yeah, a lot of Web3 games kind of stretch themselves a lot of very thin or overpromise and deliver very much. Like, and obviously, and it's funny how you said, like, when you first come into the space here, you're like, why is it taking so long? You said this, you said that, blah, blah, blah. But then as you become like a content creator and you slowly get to like play the games at like different stages and you see like how long it takes to go from this to that. And then when you ask for things, people go to it's complicated because of this and this. So you slowly start learning things as you go. Like because when I came into Web3, I came in as a gamer and I had to learn crypto as I went. So I had to learn wallets, exchanges, gas fees, all this other stuff here. And if I weren't willing to learn that, you would have just turned off the space. And like I feel a lot of games overcomplicate things and they need to make it very much just more simpler. So like fiat onboarding is a must, I feel. You don't
Yeah,
need to force people into like the crypto space. You can very much make the crypto stuff a back end thing and make it simpler for the customer. Like, because I feel a lot. I say this to a lot of people. It's like Web3 audience is 25 plus. Like that is our audience base, because
yeah,
one, you need a PC, and a lot of gamers go through the early stage of owning a console and then wanting a PC. Maybe Fortnite changed that a little bit, but I'd definitely say that's like the outlook normally. Is you get a console and then as you get older, you get a PC. Do you get what I mean?
yeah,
So our audience is 25 plus, and you need money to play these games.
yeah,
You can't play this on, and the free to play aspect of these games are terrible sometimes, because a lot of the outlook is that monetary value, and but with Aurory, like they have like a good blend where you can get the exact same monster that someone's buying, but you will not earn the same. Do you get what I
Yeah.
mean? And you won't have the simplicity of us grabbing it off the market.
Yeah.
And I feel that's perfectly fine, because if you had like an overpowered five star Unica, max stats everything, and it was a non NFT, and then you had the NFT 4 star of like a number 9 and like a Dip King, that could win you games, and you can still earn with the other two. And that Unica that was a non NFT is carrying the game for you. Like, I feel that aspect is just so great, and it'll allow people to just be like onboarded easier, and then they'll feel like, you know what, I might want to buy what I have as a non NFT. I might go and buy it as an NFT instead. Cause I did that with number 9. I was like, I got a decent number 9. I'm using it in my number 9 Unicorn Dip King team, and it's like, so I might just go buy it because I might as well earn on top of it because I'm winning with it. So I feel like that onboarding experience is a lot better. And I feel this game, the minute it goes to mobile, the peak that it will have, yeah, will dwarf anything that we've seen so far. The minute it goes to mobile,
Yeah.
like because you can already feel like you can easily just press and like move things around for tactics. If you want to do like the blue movement where you have more control, double tap and then just tap on each square along the way. Like it's very easy and fluid.
Yeah.
And then the same way with Seekers. If you actually see it the way how you click and hold and you move, there's like a little bubble thing there. The same way you'd have it if you had your finger on the screen.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
so here's the thing about that. Like you talked about broad a few things which if I can add to it, it's
yeah.
the first onboarding part, which yeah, I totally agree. Me as a gamer, it's been always a kind of a challenge, especially like that's why I personally did not really get into Ethereum games so far.
A
I don't want
hundred
to lie.
percent.
I've had actually bad experiences about all those fees and stuff just to play a game. Kind of
Pause for a
frustrated me a
second.
lot.
Pause for a second. One
Yeah,
minute, guys. I'm gonna let me do my move so I'm in a comfortable position to like show you something.
yeah.
But I put a hole in my wall because of an Ethereum gas fee moment before, and I can
Oh,
literally
really?
turn my camera to show you. I knew that was gonna happen, but yeah, like I won't do it. But yeah, like Ethereum gas fees is like it's not built for gaming. So any
Yeah,
person that looks at like the IMX system's great, but the minute you do want to take out, yeah, you need to make it worth it because it's horrible. Like swapping whatever you want to swap here on MetaMask, it could cost you $20 on swap fees, and it's like, so okay, I need to make it at least, I don't know, $80. So when I bite that gas fee, it's worth it. And then when you're playing these games in the promised land of the bull market, guess what? Them gas fees are astronomical during them moments. So it's just like you can't build a system on that. And
yeah,
there's
yeah.
other networks
No,
that are
for
so much
sure,
better. Like
for
Solana
sure.
is like the gas fees are like you see the 0.0000000, and it's
Yeah,
like it's great. And then you got
but like
Matic's the same.
I think everybody's trying to find solutions, right? And I, and actually, gas fees brought me to Solana, and that's how I discovered Aurory. So I'm kind of grateful in that sense. but but I think even beyond that, you're right about like fiat onboarding and for Aurory, it's definitely on the list. I don't have a deadline. They're looking for partners, etc. But it's all going to come very fast once we onboard on Epic, on mobile, and all these things. The first step was creating crystals, a soft currency inside the game that you can buy. The reason for this, the existence of those crystals, one of the main reason amongst few, is to be able to play the game within the Epic guidelines, Epic Games guidelines, and Play Store guidelines, because you can't trade crypto on Epic Games, for example. So that was the first step, and all of this is going to come together really fast, in my opinion. In Q1 2024, the Epic Open Beta will be opened, Epic Game Store. It will be only seekers of tokens, so this is like one thing also that in terms of onboarding, tactics was built in a certain way in the back end with Web3 that the team realized it was kind of complicated to keep building that way. So basically, it's going through a rework. Tactics is going through a rework. So first will be mostly focused on Seekers of Tucane. And Tactics not only will go through a back-end rework, but also like mechanics rework, because it's quite a complex game. So there's a lot of things to expect need to be changed for Tactics. So for now, it will stay that game, and that people can play it and earn. And
the thing is with Tactics, you don't really like right now. It's a polished game mode. Like it is what it is. Like it's kind of like a card game. Like what more do you really want from it apart from more monsters? Maybe some versatile tiles that are added to the game. Like, but right now it's happy. Like you wouldn't need to, because when you're saying like, oh, they need to focus on Seekers like going forward, it's like that's understandable because you've worked so long on this and it's polished, it's complete. All you can do is just balance in and add monsters, and then that would keep it like up to date and keep the leaderboard. Then work on Seekers, which bring more people, and then it just brings more people coming to the game. Maybe more metas will change, and then everything else.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Tactics is that also, it needs balancing. It needs like constant work. Also, it's a competitive game, so the team needs to focus on it. And there's complexity to the mechanics, which needs to be like tweaked in order.
The timeline needs to be sorted 100%.
Exactly. So that's one of the big things that needs to be kind of sorted out. But moving away from Tactics, Seekers of Tucane, the big focus.
Let's talk about Seekers.
The build flow of that is so much different for the team. It's like so clear because it's the type of games they've built also all their lives. Adventure games, like some of these people worked on the Assassin's Creed, on Batman, Arkham Origin, and all these things. So for them, they're so much more passion, first of all, in like wanting to build a story, wanting to build a lore, and the way they're proceeding right now, which I really like, is that we do these releases, closed alpha with the codes. We get community feedback. We gave a survey to the community to show them like options of what we plan to build next, and the community could vote what was they were most interested in. They had choices. I really like that. That vibe is so different to what we had with Tactics, and I'm really looking forward because the potential, as like as a Wakfu or Dofus player, when you explore the lands, right now it's super basic. You're collecting crystals and eggs, but what happens when we have boss? What happens when we have dungeons? What happens when maybe you can go with?
Oh wait! You're just throwing things out there. You're throwing things out there. Wait. You're throwing a lot of things out there. So first of all, we're expanding the exploration thing. So it's not just gonna get the game cycle is not always gonna be walk around, battle monsters, get eggs, collect the purple tokens, and hatch monsters. There's gonna be dungeons where you can go and do raids with friends. I'm guessing you can go, so we can start going into the exploring place with other people. Is that going to be something in the future?
Well, nothing is 100% definite. Anything we communicate is what is 100% definite. Because
everything could change. Like literally a ream.
We're building as we're delivering.
Yeah.
Which is the challenge of Web3. So everything we announced, like for example, everything that was on the survey will happen.
Oh, what? Wait. Let me come up with it. Where was the survey? Was it a Twitter?
For me as a player was bosses. There will be bosses in dungeon in lands.
Bosses in dungeons. I guess if you just do it by yourself, that's fine.
Bosses in lands. I don't know what it will look like exactly, but what I'm saying is that we know that Seekers of Tucane, as it is right now, is just 10% of the vision. It was the core game loop, introducing to player the idea, okay, you have to go in the land and you have to collect loot. For now, it's crystals and eggs because it's the foundation, but there will be more loot. Maybe NFT loot also, I'm expecting. And that you have to survive these lands in order to keep your loot. And that was important because it also introduces the idea of roguelike mechanics.
Yeah.
One thing that they plan on doing also is people, once they finish a land, is doubling down and doing more land and getting more rewards. But first, you need to have more balanced lands because right now it's only level 1 creatures. But soon, the creatures will have the same levels as your top leveled Nefty, I think.
Oh
Anyway,
no, that changes things a lot as well because it's
yeah,
more
yeah,
of a
yeah.
risk
Right now, it's
factor.
very easy because not everything is implemented. It's really the raw. That's why it's a closed alpha.
Oh. Oh.
And my what I would say to everybody who has a code right now is like, you're actually lucky because if you like the game, you're here early and you're starting to get your nifty teams. Soon you will be able to level up standard nifties also, etc. So there is really room to grow, and there's free to play opportunities and earning opportunities, which I'm personally more into, like owning my own nifties. Like there's a certain attachment and feeling you get with that
Yeah,
on top
100%.
of earning. Um, so yeah, so it's so my point was just to say, like, when you've experienced these types of games before, you know that these people know this industry. You can speculate a lot on ideas, but you know something's gonna come, right? Like with Seekers of the King, you've experienced those types of games. You know what's the
Yeah.
potential, and they know what's the potential, and they're like going full in.
Yeah, because like you said, the best reference you could use, yeah, is Dofus because it's got a similar. Because when you said like bosses and dungeons, yeah, my brain just went over the road and thought frigs. I was just like, no way, like 1 minute, like, because there's also a rumored game mode, yeah, that we'll get to later on, but we'll get to that later. But we'll keep Seekers for now. But like they expand, like, because obviously like you said, this is just like the beginning and it can expand more because for 2 years people were playing tactics and we're getting told things were coming, and then boom, Seekers came, and then like, so now it's like, okay, we know the work pace where we'll get a product, we're gonna have this one product for ages and we'll get balances for that, and then we're gonna get the new product, and then the old product will be polished enough for it don't need all the attention anymore, and we can move on to the next thing, and
Yeah,
then the next thing could hopefully grow to the point where we can focus on both things at the same time.
exactly. Yeah, you got it.
Like,
You got it. There's really like, yeah, and more games probably, like, and I mean, there was a point also where like the team was suggesting to people if they wanted to build on the IP and stuff. I mean, it's complicated, but I'm sure in the future, community members or like game developers will have the opportunity to build on the IP and use the assets, which
yeah,
is also cool.
see, that's what I was thinking about, yeah, was how open is the team for community to use the assets? Because think about the effort they've gone through, yeah, well, I'll put my tea down so I can actually show. But like, look at the effort they've gone through modeling these 3D models, yeah, because these are 3D models, guys, by the way. It's a lot of effort that gone into them. And they're rigged as well. Rigging is like, by the way, I got a background in animation, I got like a degree in it. So
Yeah,
like,
I was saying you know what you're talking about.
like you don't realize like how much effort these go in, like it goes into this stuff, especially yeah, mouth animation. Look at this Dip King thing, yeah, it's actually quite funny. Like, so if people could get access, yeah, to like the models with the rigs, they could just make little shorts and little dumb animations with them, and then that could be free publicity for the team. And then some people might just come into the project just to be able to play with these cute characters, and then after they might want to play the game. That could be a whole different onboarding that the team might not think about, but at the same time, that they would have to be open with their assets and their IP to an extent. For example, me, if I could make like a little cool backstory animation for Dip King, yeah, cause I can like I could go and get a trial for Maya. Maya, you're not listening to this, but I can go get a trial for Maya, and then just go and use the Dip King model because it's rigged. Rigging and controls are like 90% of the headache of anything of the character, because you can make a
Yeah,
beautiful character, and if the rating does not go correctly, the rig won't work correctly, and you're just gonna be there for ages. Like guys, there's a whole job role in animation called rigger, And what they do is they put the skeleton into the model, yeah, which is a model is like a statue at first, and then they put the skeleton into it and then controls, and then that allows the animator to move the model around and like keyframe it and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
like there's so much work that actually goes into making a 3D game. So like the last bull market when everyone's playing card games, yeah, that was just such an easy plateau for people because it's just a still image and you make like an animated background and that was the game. And there's a lot of back end development and coding in the background, but something like this is a lot more harder to like present and make as well. Like it just goes into a lot of work and like I was saying, like could they put all that work into it, they should like allow community members to an extent be able to experiment with it because there's another project. Becca would be able to explain this a lot better. Where My Pet Hooligans allow you to, if you own the NFT, you have like the
Yeah.
3D model of the model.
Yeah, you can do what you want with it. They'll send you over the raw files, and you can like make videos and whatnot with it.
Yeah, I think that's genius because look how much
Yeah.
that's My Pet Hooligan stuff is on Twitter because of that, and that's just free promo of the community. There's not even just content creators; it's just community members that are just doing
Yeah,
things for
so
their
think about it.
characters.
Victors make little statues for their weekly tournament and send it out to people.
Like, and I
I think
feel
Joey helps too.
yeah, and in Web3, there's a lot of like community building within. Like a lot, Split Lines does that a lot. Split Lines is built on third party development, like peaked monsters, everything, like Splinter cards, and I feel with Aurory, they're such a like good small team, and they build such great products that if they just like took some free help, it would elevate them quite a lot. But at the same time, they could be like, "This is my baby. I don't want anyone to touch this." At the same time,
Yeah. Well, um, can
I
you
said a
hear me?
whole
Sorry.
lot. Yeah, I
Oh
can hear
yeah.
you. So
No. To answer this, I doubt very much that they would give out for free their artistic assets
yeah,
to use.
100%.
Um, Even me, when I make videos, like when we like the trailer we made recently, right? The Seekers of Cocaine trailer.
Yeah.
So I edited that and recorded it. So they built a free cam in game that I could use to record. I needed to have lots of conversations with animators about like what I could show, what I shouldn't show. Like it's they're very protective, as you say, for the right reasons, I think.
100%.
And but the thing I was in, once the IP is really built and the project is really built, then maybe there's these opportunities. But what I was more thinking about is using the NFTs for other projects. Like somebody might want to create an NFT racing game, and they could use the NFTs to like the NFTs that for
Rory
people to use
Cart.
them in. Yeah, for
Rory
example.
Cart.
And you do have a project that did that already called Ditch and Royale. It's like it's like a battle royale game. They remade all the Orion 3Ds themselves, their own
Wow.
way. But if you have an Orion NFT, you can play it in their game, and that was fine for the team. They didn't have a problem, like. But obviously, like if they see something that goes against their values or something, they could probably ask to take it off or something. I don't know.
Alright, let's get to the chat because
Yes.
I've just been getting to you. But yeah, guys, if you want to ask anything directly, get in the chat now. I'm going to scroll up. But first of all, I want to get into Riot. Riot's been a great community member with us. But he's like, I'm trying to get in a Rowan for Christmas. And because like everyone kind of knows now, yeah, like I'm on in my mind, I already own a Luffy hat Aurorian, but I don't yet. But in my mind, I do. It's in the back. Like the minute I had this before, but I think this was Destiny. I think that's what they call it, right? Fate. Is that another
Yeah.
word for it? Like I needed a Luffy hat Aurorian. Like regardless of the traits, irregardless
Yeah,
of the
man.
traits.
I think so. So it's the word fate is interesting here because I find it so strange. This is such a side topic, but like both Dofus and Wakfu fans, great. But also, like I saw a video you posted where you were in a hotel on your holidays, which I literally worked in. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
worked there. I worked there like 12 years ago.
Oh,
And I
but
had and when you posted that video, I had been visiting that hotel the day before because I was like on a holiday also. Just I visited, to see the place where I used to work. It was so weird. So yeah,
no,
I don't know. You're here.
no,
Keep building on Aurory. This is your path.
no, but like, let me put it to you like this year. I've been a part of Splinterlands and their community for about a year and a half. It's been like it's my core, it's my love, it's been my bread and butter forever. But I've never had like a moment to be able to like sit down and speak with a member of the team, and it took about a year and a half to speak with Claiborne before he was getting elected. But the minute I come into Aurory, the community has been so great and loving, and like I've been able to like show people that have not been in my community Aurory. That's because I'm just playing the game. They want to learn about it. They want to get involved, and I was like, this has just been so much different compared to like other Web3 games that I've played. Like I've played so many over my time, and the only game I can compare this to, and like the amount of people that want to play it, is Big Time. Because when Big Time preseason started, loads of people wanted to play the game. Loads of people wanted to get codes. The onboarding was absolutely mental. And when Seekers came out, it was exactly the same thing. But I feel when the we'll get back to the chat in a second, guys. So I'm poor by side tangenting, but like when the tote got paused, I feel that kind of paused the growth of the game for a second, because people couldn't try the game out completely to an extent and get that small bit of dopamine hit of seeing the toke and seeing it build up and stuff like that. But obviously, the plan is that there's an update coming out soon, and obviously there's going to be a rewards rework and everything else. I feel that update could obviously restart the boom of the growth of the game again. Like, I could, because after the first 2 weeks, there was a short period where it was hard to get PvP games, and then like after that, it's been great again. And I feel the game's growth here comes down to people showing the game, enjoying it, and there's more updates coming out and little hot fixes. Like people underestimate how much like a few hot fixes and a little like quality of life changes can like boost a game, and that's be like free promotion and just like fixes and stuff like that. And yeah, there's so much I want to like talk about this game. I need to like funnel it all into one bit, but we're gonna get
Yeah.
back to the chat. But yeah, Rory Queen Star said something very interesting. Is the map. You see, when you're on Seekers, is there ever going to be a time where there'll be like a shadowy map, and as you start walking, you'll start like discovering the map. So then you know where you've walked before and where you haven't. So then you
Fog
could
of
like,
war.
yeah, fog of war. Yeah, that's what the term's called, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, a lot of the feedbacks like this is things we had feedback internally before release, and the community confirms it. There's a lot of things that are put out there that people think like the team is not considering, but they are. But they also want to have community feedback to confirm, because we have like data analysts also who are really like focused on data. We, even as a gamer, me of Ori, I tell them, oh, I don't think that's gonna like really work out, and they're like, yeah, we agree, it could not work out, it could work out. Let's see, it's a closed alpha. Let's see what happens. And then they change and they iterate. So it's important for people to get that sense of like patience, also to understand that it's a process and that they get to be part of the process. And
Yeah,
and the thing you were talking about like this kind of like hype and then a bit die, that's normal, and it's something that's expected. And the team really sees what works. That's why it's in small phases. It's okay, what works, what doesn't work, what do we change, until the open beta. So people join, and it's going to happen again with dispatch. Some people are going to come back, and then after a few days they'll see they've checked what's new. After the holidays there will be an event. So this is also the first live event we will have
oh,
for Seekers of Tokane, which is an event linked to lands. I can tell you. So hopefully that brings some enthusiasm, some community work, because it's going to be an event. I maybe I'm not allowed to spoil too much, but it's like I guess it's next week. It's already in a few days. So you'll see
Yeah.
that a bit of exploration, a bit of trying to push the community to reach a certain goal together, as well as a personal goal. So these types of things are things that hopefully will create retention in the closed alpha. But the team, for them, this stage, they don't mind if after 2 weeks, so a few hundred players stop playing, because it's about getting them back every time, like you said, and also focusing on the bigger picture, which is the open beta next year, early next year. So that for them is the moment where it's like, okay, now we have to go like full in hardcore, you know.
Yeah,
And
because F1's you can definitely tell F1's been preparing for the end of year. Because F1, I was saying this to people, like, if you realize F1's got an update or release coming out at the end of the year, why is this? It's like F1's preparing for a bull market, and then suddenly, boom, everything will hit. So now FE development team didn't have money for development because all their funds is in crypto, and but now FE's all going up. So now suddenly they have money for development. So welcome
That's
guys.
funny.
It's just how it works. Like remember they kept saying, "Oh,
us-
we're building in the bear." Now we're not. Welcome.
Yeah.
It's like full steam ahead, and it's just
Yeah.
like you had to be patient for this moment. And it's like right now you're going to see so many games fly out, so many alphas, so many launches, and it's like. But the thing with Aurory is they've been here for ages, but they brought a whole new game out on their own kind of IP. So it's
Yeah.
like they had a new drop, but they have legacy in the game at the same time. Do you get what I mean? So it's great because if you think about games like Axie, Gods Unchained, obviously Splinterlands, they've been around for so long. They've seen a bull market and stuff like that. But how many of them have developed? Axie
Yeah.
have made a couple of game modes and kind of developed the IP. Gods have made a few game modes and kind of, but that's only been recent. Think about how long that game's been out. And then with Splinterlands, they've just recently dropped the land, and it's only a feature, a couple of features of land, not a full
Yeah.
land experience. And
Honestly, like if I can jump on this, it's something that our founder says often, and that he's convinced that we are one of the projects in Web3 gaming which has delivered the most stuff. If you consider also all the creative assets, you know, like everything is made from scratch, and or including the sound effects, including the music. So we have delivered a lot under the radar also, and now
oh
it's coming
yeah,
out.
like
Sorry, I wanted to answer the question because I completely went off. But basically, so the maps, the fog of war thing, is something that was already discussed and triple confirmed by the community. Um, they're thinking of an option to give clues of where the exit may be. They don't know if
oh.
that's the best way. So
I don't
it's
necessarily
like
like
because
that. I just want fog of war. I don't necessarily want to be pointed to the directions. As
no,
if
no, but the fog of war comes in the idea that because people get lost, right, in the big lands also.
Queen Star complains about it all the time.
It's hard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're
no,
like
no, no.
It's
The
hard.
big lens, you can get lost. In the big lens, or like I get lost sometimes for I do it for 20 minutes. So there are different options, but we don't want to make it too obvious, maybe, because there's also a kind of interesting feeling to like you finish the land, but you don't know if there was more to find. You know, like so there's a balance of making it mechanic for people to like just know how to explore all the land and then get out. But yeah, there's going to be something to make it for the big lands, especially. So it could be fog of war. It could be a mini map in the right corner for showing what you explored already. It could be you know, we have these kind of like landmarks in the big lands. I don't know if you've seen like this tower that there's lightning and stuff. So it could have something with this. Maybe when you click on it, it shows you like, oh, the portal is towards that way. So there's a lot of options. Yeah.
I
So
feel
there will
like
be
I feel like if they give you a guide to get out, it needs to be if you've been lost for a certain period of time. If you've been in there for a certain period of time, then you get a navigation out.
Well, how
But
long
if you
is
want,
enough in time?
I don't
if you
know.
want a technique that I use when like I'm in the big land, is that the crystals you pick up, the leaves are still on the ground. So if you see leaves which have already been picked up, you know you've already been there.
Oh,
It's
so
it's a little trick.
breadcrumbs, a little breadcrumb thing that
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
track.
So far that's been my technique when I'm in the big lands and I don't know where I'm going.
I'm gonna do that. Look for the leaves.
I still get lost.
Alright, let me ask a few questions that are like
Yeah.
you might not have answers for. Is Aurory gonna be doing their own aspect of like land to an aspect? You know how every Web3 game has its own kind of land that people can go and buy and kind of like do some things on it.
Yeah, 100%. It's been from the start announced, but it's also been announced a bit as a cocky, flexy way when seeing the amount of games which sold lands to people that could not do nothing with it. It was always the intention of the Aurory team to say, first you will explore the lands, which people are doing right now, and eventually we'll sell. So you understand what they're about. But even at this point, not all the details of the lands are explained because there's more content coming and there's more biomes coming. Right now we only have 2, but there's like a magma biome. I don't know how it's called, but there's like a fire biome. There is a prairie biome. There's a beach biome. So you have more biomes coming, and eventually people will be able to mint the land and own it. The details of what you will be able to do with the lands are totally speculative at this point. Even the team is still deciding on some topics. But it's kind of like the speculation is you'll be able to make people pay a fee to visit your land, or you'll be able to get a share of the loot that people get if they go on your land, etc., etc. And one of the promises from the start, which I don't see why they wouldn't keep it, I'm sure it's still in the plan, is that Aurorians have a priority on the mint of lands.
Yeah, well, that's fine to an extent. Like, some people may get upset about that, but that's just Web3. Like, you got to accept that purely. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Need to give value. And the thing is, like, I don't know, maybe there will be 100,000 lands. I have no idea. Like, I literally have no idea on that topic. I try to stay focused on what is announced in the next 3 months because my job also is to, come and communicate with people. So if I start to think of things that might come, 1 year down the road or 8 months, I don't know when will come. I know also that the team has strategic views of when to do it based on market research. Like we're supposed to have an art upgrade for the Aurorians, which is still being drawn. It's not completed. We've teased it. I don't know if you've seen teasers of it.
I'm not sure, but if Dip King don't have a crown yet, I'm not going to be happy.
No, not the Nefties, the Aurorians.
What are they going to do to the Luffy hat?
Well, this I don't know. I'm hoping it's still gonna be a Luffy hat. But if you check, like it literally looks like Final Fantasy characters now. Like it's so well.
I'll have a look for it in the future. Then I'll tweet about it and give my opinions on it. But don't touch the Luffy hat. Don't touch the Luffy hat.
So for example, that art upgrades. If we launched it during the bear market, it would have 0 ripple effect. So there's a timing for these types of things linked to market also sentiment.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Yeah, Big Time dropped 3 different crates and sold them out in like less than 5 minutes and made 2 million, 4 million. I can't remember the numbers, but it was millions. Yeah.
And people have their own maps. What is? But anyway, I don't really want to talk about
Oh no, but I was like referring to like, but then the next one, yeah, it didn't sell out because they just overdid it. And they weren't listening to that community. But then it's good to hear that like Aurory is just like planning it out well and not just going, okay, how can we monetize the community as best we can? Because if they really wanted to, they could put lands out for you to buy now and then promise you what's going to come to in the future. But they choose not to. That's the approach that a lot of Web3 go for, which is sell you the product before the product's even out or you tested the product.
Yeah, so that's something with the lens, because you see the experience also we all learn, right, in this space, including the consumers. You know, like everything is pre-sold. That's how you build a team. Also, that's how the Aurory team got built. They raised 100 billion in token sales, and then they built like a super A team. They've kept their funds safe. They haven't overspent during the bear market, and they still have like 3 or 4 years of runway. Um, so, but the lesson is that the products take time to build, and then you have like a community behind you also, like being impatient because they invested, right? And it's normal, you know. I was, I'm also, you know, doing that.
No,
So
I get what you mean,
So I
100%.
I like this change of mindset, and I hope more projects do it, because the amount of people who get wrecked buying stuff that they can never use is kind of sad also.
No, like, cause yeah, yeah, cause obviously I call myself a shark in this space, yeah. So like I can't do overly degenerate things. So
Yeah,
like I can't go and like just buy an warrior, yeah, just because I want to, yeah. But what I can do is buy a 3-star monster every other day or something, yeah, to like fill my dopamine and get something new. So like I'm like a shark in this space. But then
yeah,
you hear these whale stories when they lose 10, 20 grand, yeah, and I'm like, bro, my max investment in the space doesn't even equal that. So imagine us
yeah,
losing that, yeah, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. So it's just like it's good to see that they're like um we've built up we already got the funding in the previous staging, so we not necessarily need to do
yeah,
another funding stage. Like
yeah,
and the thing is, even in Web3, like in Web3, it's a bunch of pill poppers. You gotta swallow a bunch of pills you're just gonna have to accept. Like you're gonna have to accept your development may be slow sometimes, and like you may buy a product that you might not get for ages. Like these are like pills that you swallow, and you might see your thing go down in value, and there's nothing you can do. Then there's this pill that you can swallow that you like that gives you all this hype, which is, oh, I made loads of money. That pill there will keep you going, and all these other
mhm.
pills will slowly bring you down. That's how
Yeah.
I see the space, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it's a tricky
cause
space to navigate in.
because I obviously got to like obviously that's why I got to go on holiday from a game's drop. Do you get what I mean? It funded me to go away, and
Yeah,
that gave me
nice.
that pill. That it's like okay, I do this again. So now I've got a challenge where it's by Christmas time I'm gonna raise enough money from play to earn games to buy myself like a portable PC. I was gonna get a ROG Ally, but I've kind of changed my mind now to go for Lenovo instead because of reasons. But so that's my new goal now, where like, because I'm chasing that next pill, I'm chasing that next hit in it, where it's, and that's a lot of Web3, where, and I'm enjoying it right now. I feel a lot of people are enjoying Web3, and I'm hoping that we're gonna continue to enjoy it. That's my intentions. Uh,
Yeah, the truth is, I discovered Web3 in 2021. So, like, I mean, the actual blockchain, and
I did it.
I think now with games, it's gonna be fun. You know, it's also, and it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, owning your assets for me has always been the drive of my entire journey in Aurory and in the crypto space, and buying assets that I want to play with and use. I'm originally a competitive TCG players in real life. Like
Yeah, I
that's
get
what
what
I
you
used
mean.
to. I
What was
used
your
to
game
love
of
that.
choice?
Uh,
Say that again for a second. You lagged for a sec.
well,
Why?
Breaking up.
Why do you break it up every time you want to say it?
Because I could not allowed to say the name.
Is that
sorry,
just
I think I had a problem with what's my game of choice for what? Sorry, I'm
your
not
your
hearing you.
your TCG of choice?
Oh well, basically before COVID, there was a game called Keyforge that came out. It was the creator of Magic who
Uh,
worked on that, and it was pretty amazing experience to me. I mean, I'm not going to go into details, but that was my big one where I understood like the value of trading cards and decks. It was decks over there. It was pre-built decks, and all these things, and it was just that sentiment of ownership. I used to play Magic before also, but you never got it in video games, right?
No, I don't
And
know.
it's not
It's
really a
frowned upon.
question.
It's actually frowned upon. Like it's
Yeah,
a lot of the time, it's against the term of service. Like
and it's not a
yeah,
question of like speculation of like, oh, I'm buying like a booster pack and I'm gonna get rich inside. It's more for me as a player was like, oh, I get competitive. I collect the cards that are important to me. I participate to a lot of tournaments. I get different kinds of rewards, a playmat, some tokens, whatever. And then if I want, I sell those playmats to fund, my next deck that I'm building. And that experience, you can find it in Web3. And that's what I'm looking
yeah,
for. That's why it's still basic, but like, that's my point. Like Aurory, Seekers of Tokane, being able to get loots and lands, selling loots you don't need to buy the better NFT that you're looking for and stuff.
mm,
Trying to make
man,
short wins is not my objective personally as a player. It's more like I want to build my Aurory game experience until maybe one day, like many games I've played, I will stop and then I have assets I can sell and appreciate that I didn't lose thousands and thousands of dollars into a
yeah.
game that I stopped. Like that was my experience with Wakfu and Office. When you stop and you're like, shit, like how much
Yes.
how much time I spend on this.
Uh, when you got that level 200, yeah, when 200
Yeah,
mattered, yes.
like you have all this gear and all this stuff, and you're like, what was the point?
The thing
Of
is,
course, it was great.
for me, what got me into Web3 was I was playing Smite, which is like a MOBA game, yeah,
Yeah.
for like 6 years. Like that's been my only game, yeah, pretty much for 6 years. Maybe played FIFA a little bit, and then I got so annoyed that they didn't allow full team ranked because reasons, and they only allowed you to search in twos in a 5 team game mode, and it annoyed me so much. I was like, I'm too good at games to not get paid, yeah. And then I just like Googled, yeah, how to make money playing games. And then Web3
Wow.
just come up. And I was like, Web3? And then I was like, okay, 1 minute, NFTs. And I was like, and another part of my background is I used to be a reseller. So I used to sell Jordans, Yeezys, graphics cards, like all things like that. And at a certain period, that went into VV and like flipping VV NFTs and then selling the tokens, blah, 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 blah. So that was my introduction to NFTs. And then this Web3 thing with play to earn come up, and I was like, 1 minute, okay, let me learn more about this. And then I played a bunch of trash games, because that's what you do when you first get into play to earn. And then I was like, but there's value here. There's the system, the formula, like the theory makes sense. Like if the game's popping and fun and people enjoy it, and there's a bunch of small niche communities playing certain games that can fund a whole project, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but if I want to leave because I'm done with the game, I want to move on, blah 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 blah, I can sell all my stuff, and all
Yeah.
this work I put into it goes. So all that time as a kid being told, oh, you put all this time into a game, and what do you get out of it? Nothing. Oh, you're spending all this money on stuff for the game, and what do you get out of it? Nothing. But now that's changed. See that stigma where it's just like, why are you
Yeah,
wasting
for
your
sure.
time? It's like I'm not. It's like on top of playing a game, if you decide to like embark on learning the crypto side of the game a lot, you're also going to be learning about economy, a whole bunch of money stuff.
Yeah.
Like you learn a whole other side of the game. But if the game's
And
good, you don't have to interact with it ever.
and beyond all that, like also outside of TCGs, I was really into board games for a long time, and I actually made a board game at one point. And there's just something about holding and owning what you have that you enjoy. And I think with NFTs, even if it's digital, that sense of ownership is just very valuable.
No, this
It's
is
yours.
true.
It's like it's and you look at the NFTs, right? They're all unique in their stats almost. It's yours. It's like it's your NFT, and even if people can play free to play and hatch NFTs, I'm a NFT maxi. Like it's just you own it. It's cool.
No, but it's true. Like it sounds stupid, yeah, but think about the time, yeah, you spent EV training, IV training, and maybe breeding if you had to, yeah, to get the right Pokemon, and then you just want to get rid of it. You decide to not play the game anymore, but someone else does. If you could sell that monster to that person, that'd be great. And you can do that through eBay, but you can get scammed. But Web3
Yeah,
answers all that questions. Web3 answers a lot in gaming to an extent. Because it's
yeah,
like, gaming's just boring right now to an extent. It's just like, I don't know when you started gaming, but during like the Call of Duty 4 Halo 3 era, like there was never a bad game. Like every game that came out, yeah, hit different markers. Like the next Call of Duty come out, and what did they give us? Zombies. Like that was a whole different experience. Like the gaming then was just so good, fun, but now it's like Fortnite came out, and that was the last big boom in gaming, and it's been that for years now, and it's been
yeah,
stuck on that model. And it's like, what's the next stage? And it's like, okay, gamers are kind of like the gamer age, yeah, is ranging a lot higher now. So gamers can be like 50-year-old, 60-year-old because gaming's been around for so long that's why Web3 exists, because there's that audience of 25 plus year that has money and plays games and then just has a bunch of like fuck you money and then just does stuff like this. That is Web3. And it's just like, and then it's the ownership part. Obviously, I don't really talk about ownership the same way how a lot of people do when it comes to NFTs. I more talk about them in like the gaming aspect. But it's
yeah.
like, it's just the fact of, okay, I'm using this team right now, yeah, of number 9 Unicorn Dip King. But I decided I started liking Axu more. But my Dip King's worth money. So I can sell my Dip King and buy my Axu, and then I've filled my purpose, do you get what I mean? Or I don't know, I want to buy a car and I'm kind of like maturing out of this game now. I'm gonna sell all my assets in this game. It's like when it's like when you leave a card game, because
Oh,
like
for sure.
because I played you. I used to be like a card vendor. I used to do a lot of things, my friend. Yeah, so I used to be like a card vendor. So I used to open cases of like Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Red
Wow.
Dragoon stopped me from doing Yu-Gi-Oh. And I can't remember what ETB made me start doing Pokemon. But like it was just the fact of, okay, I open a thing, and it could be more profitable for me opening it, and I could sell it to someone.
Yeah,
The only thing I got to worry about is finding a buyer, fees, and postage.
yeah.
Like,
No,
but
I get
Web3
that.
takes away all of that. Like,
No,
like,
it's true. And sorry, because I wanted to say something on that, if that's okay.
pardon?
Which I like on top of it is that you have two kind of people in Web3 though. You have the people who will open eggs and buy them and hope that the value goes up. Which I think that's a big risk in general, like for people to do that. I mean, I'm talking really as a
There's the
human.
non-card game players, the non-card game players that open eggs, and then there's the card game players that will buy the monster. That is the
Yeah,
two audiences.
no, but what I mean is like you have people, and it's the same with booster packs in card games. They open it and they just want to sell. The thing I like here is that even if one day, if the Nefties, for example, could lose value for some reason, maybe they go, like maybe you bought one for 100 Ori and you managed to sell it for 75 one day. You earned Ori in game, you played a cool game, you like got rewards, you participate in tournaments which give rewards and all these things. So you can get it's just a different experience than some people who just buy and hold, which is more risky. Like you just buy and you don't play with it. It's kind of, yeah, but that's at your own risk. And I think when you're a gamer who plays with the assets, it's a win-win-win-win situation.
It's true.
If you need to enjoy and see the game and the potential and get into it.
No, it is true, and I thought a lot of Web3 does answer a lot of questions when it comes to just gaming and just a lot of like the Web3 aspects of things, like utilities of NFTs. How can you get utility for crypto? And all these things. And it's annoying that obviously we can't open an egg today as well. Damn it.
Somebody's saying the concept of ownership was tried in Web2, if you don't remember, by the way.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
I didn't play Diablo 3. I knew a card game also on Web 2 on Steam, which let people have their cards and sell them on. They were allowed to sell them on third-party markets. The game was designed that way. The game didn't survive. Like you need also like very specific economies. Here, it's not only just assets. I think it's just the way an economy runs. But what I like with Aurory, it's that mix of standard and prime eggs. At the beginning, it was like some of our existing communities were surprised. But here you can play tactics, right? Imagine you hatch a 4-star standards number 9, which you like, and you don't have it. You can play with 2 primes and a standard, and you'll still get the rewards for the prime.
yeah,
And it's the same with Blitz. Blitz, you earn rewards if the first nifty you play is a prime nifty. When you swap, if the second is a standard, you still get the reward for the prime nifty that you played.
yeah, like
So that I really actually kind of enjoy, because it gives time also for people to not feel like pressured to buy too much stuff. Like maybe there's somebody just like you're in love with Dip King. I was the same. Like, oh, I want to buy Dip King most importantly, and the rest I will buy later when I get more rewards and stuff. And you have the option because you have standard NFTs also to play with. You don't get to choose your standard NFTs, which is why I'm much more interested in buying NFTs, because
yeah.
standard you hatch and you see what you get, and maybe you don't like it.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's because obviously I played Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's easier for me to just go buy the card than open a bunch of packs. Like
Yeah.
so, when I go into the game, it's like okay, I'm gonna buy my first monster, try out the thing. It's like okay, the Pokemon mode, like the Seekers mode is great, but then Tactics, I was like, oh, it hit that nostalgia. So I was like, I had to own 3 monsters. I had to like work out a team, and now it's like okay, I need to own one of all the monsters in decent stats. So no matter what change, no matter what happens, I'm prepared no matter what happens. And a lot of people will be like that. And then some people, like you said, will build up like a bunch of like non-NFT monsters, and then maybe have 1 or 2 NFT monsters, and then us like mix and match their teams to make it cater to that, and then us play like that. There's so many different avenues and ways for people to earn and play the game. Best example is me and another person in my community, Super Manny. He doesn't play tactics, and I don't play Seekers, but we both earn, and we both enjoy the game, and we both play with the NFTs, and we're both in the same community. Like that's the great part of it. Like, and yeah, and I feel like the IP is going to develop more, because right now the focus is going to be on Seekers and developing the exploration, and then the next part after that, the next stage would be the exploration 2.0. Do you get what I mean? And then that'll be the next stage in the game, from what it seems anyway.
Yeah.
But let me hit you with some quick fire questions before we go, because I need to head into another tournament in a second.
Yeah.
Alright, quick fire questions. Will there be any stage 2 monsters for the Nefties in the future, like evolutions?
It's not something I've seen being worked on. It's I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but it's not like there's more goals to bring out new NFTs than to make already existing one evolve. So
Okay.
it's something that can always be added in the future, I think. I don't think the team is closed about the idea, but it's not on their focus right now.
Okay, so if the focus is more NFTs, would there be a way to like have equipment within the game, so you can equip like a bandana to like Shiba, and it increases his defense?
I mean, equipment is an idea. There's consumables that are coming. So that
Consumables.
consumables like a boost in attack and stuff
Okay.
for battles in Blitz, or maybe there will be a consumable, but like you say, or maybe like an item that you can carry a bit like in Pokemon. The thing with all these things is they're working on an inventory system in Unity, so that takes time also, because we have skins that exist that you should be able to equip at one point, that are
Yeah,
on
I
the
see them
market.
in the marketplace.
So all of this is gonna happen. But consumables would come before any idea of equipment because consumables are already in the pipeline.
Yeah, 100%. Because that's what I mean. Because I came into the game, yeah, and I dived straight into playing and learning everything about the playing and the characters and how to be good at the game itself. And I've been very, very absent-minded on the team, the past of the project. Like I said, I found out that Tactics has been out for ages. I've been very absent-minded on what the future is on the game. I've been enjoying it the minute I got into it. That's why I wanted this conversation. So then, one, I get like a quick crash course on everything. Do you get what I mean? My community that have been enjoying the game can get like updated on a lot of things. And then obviously that's the Roy community as a whole. Who want to hear things can hear stuff as well. Like I definitely got it like informed about a lot of things where the team aren't being absent-minded to a lot of things, and just because they've worked on it, they're not willing to like change it. Like for example, they're looking into tactics and like how to make that a bit more simplified because it's overly complicated for every person. But
Yeah.
like there's also a lot of things I've been enjoying, and you give me a lot of like things to think about. Like when the minute you said to me we can go the exploration is gonna be expanded upon, I didn't think about that at all, and that's very
Oh,
silly
really?
of me. No, not
Well,
at
that's
all.
interesting. I mean, it's great to hear from you because it's like we don't always know how people experience it, and it's clearly not a full game. Like we never promoted. Like first, there's no lore yet.
Oh yeah.
Very very basic, and there's a
Wait,
full
there
lore
is.
being
There
written.
is. Number 9 is the ghost of Bitbite.
I worked that out.
No, I don't think so.
It
It
is. It is. When you lose a
is.
game, yeah, you
Oh yeah,
see
yeah,
number
yeah.
9 coming out of Bitbite.
True. Yeah.
Like
Makes you want
that's
Do you know why it's,
lit.
do you know why it's called number 9?
No.
Because cats have 9 lives. So
Oh, you didn't think about
I
that.
didn't think about that.
You didn't think about.
I didn't think about that. That's smart.
You like that.
I
yeah.
do like that's Picassery.
That's. Listen, I might have to make that a treat tomorrow. Be like, guys, you know the secret. Do you know why number 9's called number 9? Because cat's got 9 lives.
And number 9 is the ghost of
Yeah.
Bitbite, which is a cat. Just in case people want fully there.
No, Queenstar, listen, Aurory, like I said, yeah, we're not gonna necessarily like talk about like all the monster battle games in Web 3 right now because obviously it's Aurory. But for me, I played most of them because I've been chasing that nostalgia of obviously Pokemon. Let's just talk about it. Let's be clear. So for me, Aurory hit 2 different nostalgia hits for me. Do you know how mad that is? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Yeah, I totally
Like
understand.
not a lot of you might not have played. That's why I said my friend group. The minute they saw like both the game modes, they were like, okay. My friend DJ bought 5 NFTs and played the game twice. Like that's just how it works. Like this is just going to be such a great sell, and also it's browser based. Like someone has
Yeah.
come on, bang, it's easy. You don't have to wait for a download for a launcher.
Is there going to be a mobile game?
Yeah, mobile is in the works.
Before you go to your next thing, like your tournament, because you wrote a question before the interview. You
Oh,
asked
yeah.
me, what would be the peak moment for Aurory? And I kind of thought about it because I don't know what will be their peak moment, for them in their view, but I think it would be a question of daily active users. But what I can tell you is this: for them, open beta on Epic Game Store, which is target end of Q1 2024.
Mm.
That open beta is the moment for them where it's like it's time to make it. It's time to level up our like the way we promote the game also, and just go full in. You know, like everything we're doing right now is the stepping stones and the foundation. And then there's the mobile, which I don't know how much I can say, but I've seen some stuff, and I think it's gonna go fast. I don't know when it will be.
The thing is, that's
I'm
the
super hyped. I'm super hyped that it will be Seekers of Tokendo again, because it's a different build. Tactics doesn't have the infrastructure for now to be on mobile. It's different builds, even if they're like interoperable games. The infrastructure in the back end, because the time frame on which the team was built and the key people in the infrastructure of the game were not there at the beginning when we were already starting building. They
Yeah.
came after, like one guy in our infrastructure is I remember when our executive producer, I interviewed, my first interview of a team member was the executive producer, and he said like, we just managed to get the guy who used to be on call for Rainbow Six Siege, and that's our infra guy, but he was not there at the beginning. It took 8 months until he arrived. So all these people were coming. The team grew 500% within a year and a half, and that's why Seekers feel so much cleaner, so much, and like you say, in browser, it's incredible the amount of content. But they've reached their limit in a sense before, like in terms of quality, what they can bring out, and that's why they're very excited about Epic Game
We're
Store,
going launcher
because
mode.
because that will allow them to really like unleash their vision much more. It will still be accessible in browser, but I don't see why people wouldn't want to play on Epic, because it uses less resources on the computer and all these things. So.
And also, it's just a discoverability as well. Like a random web tour could discover the game, and if Aurory has their crypto covered up into like a nice game format in that time, like fiat onboarding, like straight up, and then all the crypto stuff is on the back end, and the person just needs to learn it when they decide to sell things or whatever, or to get money out, that'd be great. And but you said about the peak, and you said the game's idea of their peak right now is Epic Game Store. And
well, I wouldn't say it's the peak, but it's the milestone they're really focusing on.
oh, okay.
Like
I was gonna say
people
mobile peak is like the different peak.
Yeah, no, that's for me. Like for me, if I'm thinking in terms of being like top Web3 game, it will be at the mobile. Like
Oh, yeah, 100% mobile.
once we hit mobile, and everybody tells it to us, like we have a lot of people interested in the IP and the game who can't really play it because they don't have a computer. We're just waiting to have it on mobile. So we have a big queue of people.
The minute it goes to mobile, you're on board a country. You're on board the Philippines. And the minute that happens, the game will have a whole different growth. Because if they can onboard the Philippines and on top have a scholarship system that's easy to set up within the game, that would be it. And on mobile, that would be destroying everything. Do you get what I mean? That could be probably market proof to an extent, but I'm not going to say that too much, like, because that would be too good. But we've talked about it so much, and I need to get onto my other thing. But we're definitely going to do this again in the future, and you got an update for Aurory next week, so we're definitely going to have more to talk about soon.
And let's see, and just so you know, because I don't think you know, we have a press kit also if you need some assets of like 2D assets for your thumbnails and stuff.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend's got that already. She literally said that you've bought a new peak to when it comes to allowing content.
No one bloody has that, and do you know how easier it is to have that than go on Google? Like, help people help your game, innit?
Like that's what she felt. She's like, okay, so I can get a high quality version, not have to worry about take out the background, and there's no stupid lines over it either, like to ruin the image.
I love it.
And they have different poses, like
I think we have still a lot of work to do in terms of coordinating with content creators, and there's a plan to have a creator program. But again,
I'm definitely gonna be interested in that when it comes out.
It's always that kind of like, is it urgent in this grand scheme of things in terms of how far the game is? And usually the answer is let's keep it for because also what content will we have in the game? You know, we have to create our creators program around what the game has to offer, and there's still a lot of content missing. So it's coming, and but yeah, we always there, you know, with the codes for creators if they need support in that sense. If
Listen,
they
for
have
me, I like
ideas,
listen.
if
You don't
they,
supported me so much by giving me codes, so I can actually invite people into the game, and then
and
I
there's
can build a
also
community for you.
next week we will have blitz matchmaking, private matchmaking. So if people going to organize tournaments, you know, like
Yeah,
we
baby.
can
Yep.
help out. And yeah, and I know there's a plan to maybe give some access codes to specific people to test the Epic build at one point. So I don't know. Let's see. Keep doing
That'd be
what you do,
cool.
and who knows, we will be.
Yeah, no, literally, because me being dumb and being a Yu-Gi-Oh player that don't read cards, I didn't realize that we have private matches and tactics. So what I thought would be great would be that Becca be hosting like the first probably tactics tournament, and we'll just be like that's community funding it because we enjoy the game. So we'd rather have be able to start developing an esports for the game, and the team don't have to worry about it. At most, give us codes so we can make more people want to play the game.
I've
Like,
heard some Aurory.
like I don't like. Do you know what I mean? Allow us to make the little games. Do you get what I mean? To allow
Yeah.
people to like get to just do things, and then yeah, because we're content creators, we somehow make money in the back end to fund these tournaments. Do you get what I mean? So it's just like, and
And
we're
we
tournament focused. We've been doing it for about a year and a half. So doing it for this would be
nice.
so good.
No, you can. Well, we have a content creator channel on Discord. We can talk about it later.
Yeah.
There's a minimum amount of content you need to create before being added. It's with Tim, but yeah. Anyway, it's time
But
to call it quits.
yeah, I mean, I've got she's already like practicing and warming up for the new game that we've got to play. There's another tournament, another time, but we're always going to be the next place that we try to conquer.
Cool,
But
man.
yeah, bro, it's been
And,
fun, and you've given me so much to think about, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, great talk, and nice to meet both of you, and keep on doing what you do. It's great.
Yeah, man. And listen, if I was able to open an egg today, I would have been praying to the Aurory gods to see if they'd give me
Yeah,
something
that was
good.
a funny video. I liked it. Nice.
No, but I pray to whatever games gods that I need to try and get this luck. You know what I mean? Listen, it is what it is.
God,
Yeah.
like me.
I know they gave you the 2-star cocoa mint
Two-star cocoa mint.
compared
I
to
don't
my
even like chocolate mint. Like, why would you give me
compared to my 3-star Unica.
that? Game hates me.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro,
Well, anyway,
we've held
good
you
luck
up enough.
next